Heidi ho, y'all. Pray all is well. I'm back for some more conversations about God. Today, I want to talk about postpartum and my time in the mental hospital. I won't get into too much detail about my time in the hospital because I actually wrote a book about it, and it's called Do Redem. It's motherhood spelled backwards because it talks about the other side of motherhood that I feel like sometimes people are uncomfortable with talking about. Um, so, the postpartum period, if you're not aware, is a pregnant woman once she gives birth. They also call it the fourth trimester. So what it is, your body has goes through so many different changes and hormones and all these things whenever you're pregnant, whenever you're growing life within you. And then once the baby's born, your body has to try to get itself back to normal. So during this time, this postpartum phase, um, everything in you is affected physically, spiritually, emotionally. You're going through so many changes to try to get your body back to where it was. And what I didn't realize was it was affecting my mental state. So to get to like a little backstory on it, whatnot, um, we went through a lot of different changes in our life, and not all of them are bad. Some of them are really good, but it just took a lot out of me to do it. Um, so the first big, I guess like domino effect. The first big domino that fell was that we were kicked out of an organization that we were a part of for 11 years. And I mean, say goodbye to those friends that we once called family. They don't talk to us anymore. So that was a big blow. The next step was we bought a house. We had been looking on and off for 2 years. And so we finally bought the house. And if anyone has bought a house before, y'all know how that thing go. All that paperwork, all the back and forth, checking the credit, debt to income ratio, all that mess. So that was already a lot. So we finally closed on the house. Then a month later, I gave birth to our fourth child. So there were these changes, which they weren't all bad, but they were still big changes in our life. And what really set me off is sleep deprivation. Um, and that I feel like people know about it, but they don't really understand what's happening. Because, it's always, team no sleep. I might have a baby. Everybody knows babies don't sleep through the night right away. Some do. Some do. If you have one of them, you blessed. But they don't have an idea of a schedule when they're first born. All they know is I want to eat, and then it's gonna come out, and then I just want to eat some more and then sleep. So they don't know about nighttime, bedtime, waking up. So you have a few weeks, months of the baby getting up in the middle of the night to eat. Um, so everybody's aware of that babies don't sleep through the night. But what sleep deprivation can actually look like. It was my fourth child. I done did this before. Okay, yeah, I know I'm tired, but whatever, I'll be all right. I just, would just push myself, like I talked about in my last video. In case you haven't noticed, when I talk about like people pushing themselves and things like that, I get very passionate. So you can probably hear my voice like raise a little bit because I'll be talking about myself. I was just doing too much. So I wasn't sleeping. Um, Mind you, I was getting help. I married, my husband was helping me, my mom was helping me, my other family was helping me. I was getting help. So I still was pushing myself way too hard and not sleeping. Now, let me tell you about me. I love sleep. It, as if I could say that was my favorite thing to do, which I did when I was a kid. They'd be like, "What's your favorite thing to do?" I'd be like, "Sleeping." I love sleep. So I should have known something was wrong when I wasn't sleeping. I would catch myself and I'm like, I haven't slept. Like this is weird for me. I can sleep anywhere. And I was like, I'm not sleeping. What I would do is I would feed the baby in the middle of the night, put the baby down. And then instead of going back to sleep myself, I'm like, you know what? I need to pump. By the time I get done pumping, I'm like, you know what? The baby's about to wake up. I'll just stay up. So I would just watch TV or be on my phone or something. And I would just make myself stay up to just get the next feed so that I wouldn't, I guess in a way, I was trying to keep myself from knocking out and feeling good sleep to have to wake back up. So I was like, I'll just stay up. That's not healthy, mind you. Okay, we all need sleep. So I was just pushing myself too hard and not asking for help when I was exhausted. I was getting help, but even in those moments where I felt myself being extra tired, I could have woke my husband up. He would have got the baby for me, but I didn't. I was just like, I got it. I got it. Again, I'm so strong. I got it. I don't need no help. Um, so one day I just started to feel. I felt high. I just felt like people would talk to me, and I wouldn't hear it until like 30 seconds later. I would see their mouths move and everything, and it was like a delay when I would hear it. I was like, something's weird. I felt high. I just felt like I wasn't really here. And I started to notice this haze kind of around my eyes, my peripheral, peripheral. How do you say that word? I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. I noticed like a haze, and I was just like, I ain't paying no mind. Yeah, I'm tired. I probably just need sleep, whatever. Um, so one day I was just crying so much, and I realized that it might be postpartum. I asked my husband to come home from work, and he did. And we were like, all right, cool. You just need sleep. Take you a good shower, get some rest. I'm like, that. Yeah, that's it. Like, do you think you need to go to the hospital? I was like, no, I'm good. I'm good. Um, the next day, after trying to catch up on sleep, um, we were laying down, and I remembered having a thought saying, I don't want to be here anymore, and I don't want to do this anymore. It started out sounding like me, and then it turned into multiple voices. Yeah, yeah. It turned into multiple voices. You know what I said? Demonic possession is real. Okay? It's not written in scripture for no reason. When I say that thing scared, jumped out my sleep. I said, babe, we gotta go to the hospital. I gotta go to the hospital. I don't know what's happening here. I gotta go. So my mom was here, so we were able to go to the hospital. Now, all this time, I thought I was gonna go to a hospital and just be chilling. I thought I was gonna be in a room with a TV, and they was just gonna bring me my food. And I'm like, yeah, I'll just stay here until I feel better. Okay. I didn't realize that when you have postpartum, you get Baker acted. Even then, I assumed that I was going to be in the hospital. I had no idea I was going to a literal mental facility. It didn't dawn on me until I actually got in there. And I was like, oh, this is stuff I be seeing in movies. I'm in the real mental hospital. Okay. But just, so I was in there for 6 days. And the first 2 days, I had nightmares. Not just regular nightmares, but nightmares like wake up screaming nightmares. And they actually gave me medicine for that. I didn't know there was a medicine to stop nightmares. How is that even possible? I don't know. But so they stopped after that. But then I felt ill one day. I just was going through a lot of ups and downs emotionally. And that last night, I felt like is where Christ met me. And Christ revealed himself unto me. What I talked about in the last video, that strength, it was that last night that I thought I was going to die, that he revealed himself to me. And I don't mean thought I was going to die just being dramatic. I literally was laying in the bed, and my chest was heavy. I felt like I couldn't breathe. And I felt like my breathing was labored. It was slow. It wasn't normal. I was like, I think I'm catching my last breaths. Like, why is it so hard for me to breathe? I literally thought I was going to die. And that is the most traumatic thing I've ever been through. But it's also amazing to me because that's where Christ met me and revealed himself unto me. And the Lord can use the most interesting times to touch you and to talk to you and to reach you. And that was just mine. And so that's just a testimony that I carry with me and why I bring that story out today. I want to read Luke chapter 22. Luke chapter 22, verse 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan has desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. I think about this sometimes when I think about the voices that I was hearing. I'm like, was I getting possessed? I, I have no idea, but I'd like to think I was. Um, Satan desired to have you. Satan desires our soul because he doesn't want us to be free in the Lord. He wants us to remain in the chains of our own minds and our own doubts and fears, and that's what he preys upon. He goes into our minds and takes the things that hurt us the most and tries to put it in front of us as like a roadblock. So you got to push through with Christ. Um, so I think about that scripture, and then where it says, "And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren." That's pretty much what I'm doing right now in talking about postpartum and talking about pushing yourself too hard. I didn't go through that just for myself. I didn't go through that just because God was like, I just want to put something hard on you. Here you go. Enjoy. It was a lesson that I learned in pushing myself too hard, that look what it did to you. It broke my mind because I pushed myself way too hard, and being sleep deprived. But as a testimony to help other women be like, don't do what I did. So talking to my sisters, when you, and this doesn't have to be just postpartum, it's anytime. I mean, even if you don't have kids, whatever, when you feel overwhelmed, don't have the thought, like I've said in my other video, don't have the thought like, well, I'm too strong to ask for help. I got this. Or I don't want to be viewed as weak, so I don't want to ask for help. The detriment could be your own life, your own children's lives. There are so many stories of women who kill themselves and their children because of postpartum depression. And it's so sad and scary to me that that's even possible. And for that to happen to somebody like me who had help, I had help. So my heart aches for women who don't have help at all. Single mothers, maybe they're married and their husband just doesn't help at all. The family doesn't help. And they literally are doing it by themselves. I fear for them because I'm like, if I went through that and I had help, imagine a woman that has no help at all. Sadly, that voices be telling you to do stuff. There was a lady that did a TED talk that talked about it. That voices were telling her to burn her children. Like, this stuff ain't made up. It really be happening. So that's why I feel like I'm passionate about talking about it, because I'm like, don't hurt yourself by not asking for help. It's the thoughts are normal because that postpartum period is so weird and your hormones are so weird. So it's normal in a way of like, don't feel alone. It's normal. It happens. But it's also not normal in ask for help. Know when to reach out to somebody. I mean, even if you don't have anybody, go to, I don't know, go to the fire department, go to the police department, just these places that are set up to help. Not saying to give up your baby, but I mean, just roll up in there and be like, I need help. And a lot of times they'll, send you out to a hospital, because you'll start there at least at a hospital. But it's like, just to have some type of support. Don't think you can weather it alone. Don't push yourself to a point of mental breakdown, because you never know what that could look like for yourself or your children. Um, I really think hospitals should have postpartum units. That's, if I could have a dream of getting something done, it would be to open up postpartum clinics or having wings in hospitals that are dedicated to allowing women to sleep, taking the baby, and then the mom just gets to sleep all night, throughout the night, a good 8 hour sleep, whatever. Because I feel like that's so needed, especially for women suffering from postpartum depression, and what that could look like, what could end up happening with that in other stories, is women killing themselves and their children. It's so sad. And I don't want to see anybody have to go through that. Thank God mine didn't go that far, but even just the surface that I've scratched is enough for me to be like, I don't want nobody else to go through this. We gotta start being more open to helping each other and loving on each other, as I've said in many other videos, that's what Christ died for. He didn't die for some low down people. He died so that people could be good to each other and to love each other and be there for one another in hard times, especially. So, while giving birth and having a new child is a beautiful time, it's very difficult for the mother. So, if you know of any mothers, sisters, aunties, cousins, whatever, if you haven't checked on her, please check on her. Send her a text. Don't just make it about the baby. Make it about the mom too. Check on her well-being, her mental health. Um, if y'all have that type of relationship, just pop up and be like, I'll take the baby, you go sleep, or I'll do the dishes, I'll do the laundry, I'll cook dinner. Something to just help support her in her time of her body trying to go from this to this. Just her hormones kind of just getting back to normal. I Yeah, it's just, this is me trying to just strengthen the brethren right now and wanting us to come together in unity and love for each other and caring for each other. Um, so yeah, I think I'm just gonna end it here. I don't know. I thought I was gonna be talking a whole lot longer, but my brain goes blank, and when my brain goes blank, that's my body's way of telling me to stop talking. So we're gonna stop here. Um, like I said, if you know anybody that has just had a child, about to have a child, whatever, just be aware of their needs and the support that they might need. If you are a mother who has dealt with postpartum, is currently dealing with it, might deal with, just prayer. Go to God first, give to God first, and then reach out. Reach out to family, friends, whoever you can. If you don't have anybody, there's pregnancy centers out there. There's pregnancy centers that are there to help women with their pregnancy after they give birth. I mean, just call them and let them know that you're struggling. You might need some help. I'm gonna even post on the video like the Unalive hotline, because there's numbers you can call. There's people you can call that'll give some type of assistance to whatever you're going through. Um, so I pray all is well, and that we can really love on each other and look out for each other. They say it takes a village to raise a child, and it really does. Um, I think we've lost that village along the way, and everyone's mindset now is like, oh well, she decided to have them, so she got to deal with them. Um, but you're raising life. That's not. It's not like you need help vacuuming the floor or something. You raising life, where you have to teach them every single thing. It's a huge undertaking, and we just have to have more care in these children, because it's not just about the mom, it's not just about the kids, it's about both, and the love of both. If the mom's not taken care of, the child suffers. So we got to bring that village back. And any way we can, any way you can help, bring the village back. Let's pour more love into these children. Because we love on each other, we love on the mom, we love on the children, and then they grow up seeing that love and then spread love themselves. I'm saying a lot, so I really do need to go, because my brain is trying to find words and it ain't there, so my brain's like, okay, stop talking, okay. So I pray as well. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.